Hello and welcome to Everyone Has a Story podcast. My story today is about the time I walked into a Subway sandwich shop roughly around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night on a Friday night. I just got done playing 3 hours of tennis. I was tired but fulfilled, but I was hungry. And I walk into the Subway shop just to get a quick sandwich to eat as I'm driving home. And I walk in and there's an adult man, just screaming bloody murder at the poor young man behind the counter. And I'm just standing back. I don't want to get in the way. But the guy just was upset about something minor, like maybe too many pickles or maybe not enough mustard or something. I mean, it was so minor. And this guy was just not going to let it go. But this young man, probably 16, 17 years old, stood there, took it, smile on his face the entire time, and was just offering anything and everything to make this guy satisfied. And the guy just walked out. And so I walk up to this poor young man and I looked at him. I said, "Do you need a minute?" He goes, "No." I said, "Well, I have to say, I was very, very impressed by how you handled that. It sounded like it was very easily to fix and he just didn't want it fixed. So maybe he's just taking his bad day out on you." And the guy said, "You know what? If you sound a bad day, I just hope it gets better." And I mean, this is at 11 o'clock at night, young man. And I'm thinking, boy, if I was that age, I would have probably been calling that guy every name in the book. And this guy just says, "I just hope he has a better night." And I'm sitting there as I order my sandwich, he's making it right there in front of me. And I'm thinking, God, I want this guy working for me. I managed the club right down, the tennis and fitness club right down the street. And I said, I want this guy because at health clubs and tennis clubs, you're never going to make every customer, every member happy. And I want this guy on my team. So as he's making my sandwich, I run out to my car, I get my business card. This is before cell phones. He gives me my sandwich, I pay for it, and I give him my card. I said, "I'm right down the street. You walk in, want a job, I'm hiring you on the spot. You just passed your interview." So I go home, I eat my sandwich, don't think anything more about it. About 2, 3, 4 weeks later, I get a knock on my door in my office, and here's this young man. He hands me the business card and he says, "You know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer. I think I'd like to work here." So I walked him in and I took him to the front desk and I introduced him to the manager. And I said, "I never have ever done this in my life. But I'm telling you, Donna, who is the front desk manager, you're going to want this guy on your staff. I've promised me he has a job. I'd like to have him here. If you got a space for him, if not, I'll find another place for him. But this is where I'd prefer him to be." She took him. The guy could not get enough compliments from all the members. These members absolutely love this guy. I mean, he turned the whole front desk around. And it wasn't in bad, the front desk was not in a bad situation, but he just made it so much better. And to this day, I'll never forget Matt. The kid was just phenomenal at such a young age. I'm telling that story because from time to time, we get that one introduction that just, it's an immediate connection. And you just want to not let time lapse when you get that immediate connection. And today's guest is that immediate connection to me. I got introduced to Susana, my guest today. And from the moment I talked to her, I knew that there was something very, very special about her. Her intuition, her knowledge of just people, her knowledge of combining the operations of business and to how to lead a team is impeccable. And for such a young age, I mean, she's masterful at it. And so talking to her within probably 15, 20 minutes, I said to myself, she's going to be on my podcast sooner than later because she has something that really everybody needs to hear. So Susana, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you joining me.
Wow, thank you very much, Roger. I feel flattered by the presentation.
Oh, you're very welcome. Susana is an executive coach. She's a trainer in emotional intelligence, and she's a people and team developer. She helps just teams and people develop better for organizations. So with any more said from me, Susana, would you please just introduce yourself and kind of let us get to know you?
Well, thank you very much, Roger. I don't think I'm gonna make it better than you. So yes, as you said, I'm an executive coach. I love, and since I discovered my passion for helping people, for helping or just sharing everything that I have known, everything that I'm still learning with people to make them have better relationships, to have better, how do you say, just to be better in general, because we are all very influenced by our relationships in work, with a family, with our partner, spouse, couple, whatever, um, children. So I'm very, very committed, and I love to, and it's my passion to help them first to become aware, because we tend as human beings to say, it's not on me, it's your fault, it's because you did this, it's because you, so we tend to blame the others and not see what we are doing. So first of all, I try to bring that awareness to people to see, okay, before going there, because it's not under your control how people behave, let's see what you are doing. And from there, and there's a very famous saying that says, when you change, everything changes. Let's see what we can do, you know? So from there, then I like to share with them what I've learned on, okay, what can you do better? What is your main spot or thing that you want to improve or that you can improve? And from there, you know, with the coaching methodology, it's okay. Now you are aware. Now you know what you want to change. What's your weakness area, kind of? And then what do you want to do? Let's make a plan. Let's start step by step. So yeah, I like that. So
yeah, and I haven't seen any flaws in your systems yet, so I'm glad you're here, and we're going to talk about that. So we're here to talk about connections, really good connections, but really authentic connections. And so you have a wonderful way of talking about what a connection means to you. So why don't you describe your definition of what a connection is?
Well, thank you. Connection. I don't know if you have heard the word Ubuntu.
I haven't.
Well, Ubuntu is this South African philosophy that Nelson Mandela made popular. That means we are humans through other humans. If you think about that, it is very, very deep when you start reflecting on it. Like, what does that mean? That means to me that I am what I am because of the others. And I build the others as well. So connection is about that. It's about realizing that I'm not better than others. Is realizing about how important it is to be around people, but not just, oh, okay, yeah, I'm with that. No, but building as the word, a connection, like a wire, like something that gets us together to help us improve ourselves. You know, these days, most people have become so self-centered, so individualized, like they go with their own things and they had forgotten about the others and how we are what we are because of the others, and we help the others to become what they are too. So I think a connection, a true connection, has these needs to have this awareness, these um, commitment, but also this love to build and to let others to make me grow too. So that's a connection. At the end, it translates to love.
So, why should that be important, especially in today's times?
Why shouldn't? Why shouldn't it? We're living in these kind of difficult times. We just came out of these 2 years of pandemic, a lot of fear, a lot of problems, where we realized how important it is to be with or around the ones we love, to be close with other people. Even research, that's it. I mean, we are how do you say, relational beings. We can't be alone by ourselves. I mean, we need the others. So why is it important, especially in these times? I think that we are lonelier than ever. And that has brought a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of emptiness, where we don't enjoy life, where we don't seem to be that anything is enough, where we want more and more, but the more we get, the emptier we feel. So I think right now is the time to start connecting. We are chasing happiness. Marketing knew it. Big companies are taking advantage of that, so they sell it in their products with their slogans. And we are like zombies, yes, because we think that happiness is out there in the exterior. It is inside, and we strengthening with the connections, the real, true, and honest connections with the people around us.
So, as I was talking to you about in my story about Matt, who the connection was immediately authentic, I saw what he did in really the front lines of battle and how he didn't really even blink. And he carried that on when he came to work for me every day. He stood right up there at the front lines and delivered just excellent service. What makes a connection authentic to you?
Well, and I love that story. And actually, when you were telling it, I don't know if you saw, I made a little note. Do you feel, or do you notice when you are valued by someone else? Do you have the sense of, oh, that person is listening. Oh, that person is seeing me?
Absolutely. I love that feeling.
That's what I was going to ask you. How does it feel?
Oh, it the old saying, it fills my cup. It gives me that energy that I just need from time to time to keep moving forward in my day, in my week, in my month.
Yeah. And why do you think is that?
Well, I'd like to say it's not my ego, that I like to be connected. I like to have those engaging conversations where both parties are listening to each other, being curious and asking questions, and both parties being very open to answering the questions, being vulnerable sometimes with their responses, and just making it feel like it's not just one person asking questions and the other person just answering robotically or inauthentically. It's really two people having a deep, rich conversation about what matters, maybe to both, maybe to one, but the other person's willing to take the time to make that a good conversation, a full conversation.
Yeah. You feel important for someone. There's a client of mine that I always tell him, I stole your saying, because he says, to dance tango, you need two people. So what happened with Matt? How do you think you made him feel?
Well, the fact that 2, 3, 4 weeks later he showed up, ready to work, and doing his best from the first moment that he clocked in, tells me that we were aligned. There was trust, that he knew that I wasn't just going to buy my sandwich and go home and not do anything with the business card that I gave him, but he brought it back, and he had that same smile on his face. He had that same intense look in his eyes. He talked to me with his eyes wide open, staring at me, and he, as we talked, he engaged. He had no problem asking questions, which I love. I love when people don't just hear someone talk, but they ask questions to get to know further. Now you know that they're really present in the moment. They're not just sitting there shaking their head saying, "Oh yeah, can you get this thing over with, please?" They're actually shaking their head and asking questions to continue on.
Exactly. You saw him. You saw his value and you acknowledged him, what he did. So that, of course, should have made him feel like, wow, special. And when someone makes us feel special, something turns on inside us that says, oh, this person. From my experience, in these days, people have the biggest need of being listened to. Because as I told you before, most of us are so self-centered that we do exactly what you just said. Oh, hi, yes, my sandwich, please. And hurry because I have 1 minute. You know, sometimes we don't even realize how rude we are being because we have our story running inside our heads and we're being rude to other people and it's not their fault. But when we give us the chance, because that is a gift for us to know the other person, to see the other person, that's the wonder that we get. I'm apt
So
showing up.
I love that. I really do. And you know, it's hard to measure when someone's happy. You know, there's not a happy scale that we can go put our finger on and say, okay, I'm this happy. Or, you know, the other thing is success. What does success mean and how's it measured, right? You just mentioned something about how Matt and I made each other feel special in that moment. Okay. How do you measure, or what does it feel like when you know that there's that special connection, that both both individuals that are in the conversation are making each other feel special, that they are important at that moment in time?
Well, speaking about how to measure it, I think it's a little difficult. I think it's more qualitative than quantitative. So I think, as you said, how it's like saying, how do you measure success or happiness? It's difficult to say because there is no one definition for success. It depends on each person. It's not the same what I think or what's success to me than to you or than any other person. So I think there is where we have or where self-awareness enters, you know, to know ourselves, to really be aware of what happens, what is happening. We all feel that when we make a connection with someone, but it's like, we don't even look at it. We feel it, and it's like, oh, he's a very nice person. Yeah, I like him so much. Okay, well, but we don't really stop to see, not to see, to observe. Okay, what is this making it special? Why am I feeling this good or this special or what is this connection telling me what did I like about the other person, the way he or she talks, how she or he looks at me, the conversation that he or she has, what? Because when we observe, we learn more from ourselves than from the others. Oh, of course, we learn from the others too, but first from ourselves. So, what do I enjoy? What do I value the most? What do I need? When we really meet, or we know, we discover our needs, our priorities, what is important for us, it's like a very important tip or secret or magic place that opens us the possibility to find, oh, motivation. You know, motivation is led by our needs. So knowing for us what are our needs, what is important for us, we have the magic key to follow or to, okay, make things happen for us, you know? So I think it's that. How do you know? Okay, being aware. At the end, you'll see I always go to being aware, realizing that this is happening, and then being curious. Why? How? When? What?
So let's go now to inside the workplace. Right now, there's a lot of businesses struggling to even get enough staff to stay open. They've had to, shut down business earlier than normal because they just don't have the staff and they can't just keep overworking the staff that is showing up. So where does the connection come into play when it comes from the owner to the manager to the staff to the customers? What does that connection look like? Or what should it look like?
Well, what I think right now looks like before what it should look like is like everyone is wearing a mask. Everyone is, I have to go to work, I put on my suit and my perfection mask. I go like that. I don't show my true self to the others. Why? Because there's a lot of fear. Fear of what? Of being judged, of not showing my perfect life, of others to see right through me and criticize me, of competition, of, you know. So that's the first thing that I think I see. A lot of people wearing masks. And those masks are built and painted by themselves, which are not, well, most of them, not everyone, but are not artists. So the mask is a little like this, like funny, not funny, but ugly. So that's the face we give. Okay. How can you make a true connection if you don't show yourself as you really are? It is very difficult, right? It takes one person to give the first step to show the others that, okay, I'm safe. But who is going to be that first person? No one. Okay, who? No, not me, you. First, because we don't know, or people don't know that that's a very simple thing to do. And second, because they don't want to, because there's too much fear. I was reading the book, Mike Robinson, the ex-baseball player, which he tells his story on how in this like workshop with a company, everyone was very quiet and super like steady and oh yeah, superficial. And then he asked like the first question, like what is your how do you say uncomfortableness, or like what are you struggling with right now, or something like that. No one said a thing, but he didn't move on. He waited. Okay, there should be something. Come on, and trying to make people to say. And there was one manager that raised his hand and he said, well, Right now, I'm struggling with communication. I think that the people that I work with don't want to talk to me because blah, blah. So he was the first one to give the first step. And you know what happened? He forgot about his speech. He forgot about his plan because the full meeting or the full workshop was to listen to every single person from their, without the mask, from their true self. So it's just a matter of what am I afraid of and building trust. And something very important that I have also seen, it has to be from top to bottom, like the cascade effect. So it works. So it starts to flow.
So let's start at the top. How, you're the coach, how are you going to get that individual, man or woman sitting at the top, to be open to be more connected to the entire team? How would you make that happen?
Well, actually, I have a story. I was actually coaching this COO from from a company, also a consultancy, a consultant company. Well, so he had this struggle where he didn't want his team to see his emotional side. He was very tough, you know, and also this man physically, he was like super. How do you say when it's a person that surprises you with the presence? And and he said, no, I don't want them to see my vulnerability. And I asked him why. And he said, well, because it shouldn't be, because that is a sign of weakness. Mm. And I was okay. And so you have a weakness. And he was like, well, yes, but okay, no, it's okay, it's okay. Tell me about your weakness. So you think your emotional side is weak. What am I going to that? That person has first to see and has to feel safe. And from that safe place, start to be aware to see, okay, yes, what do I want to show them? And then I was like, okay, what do you expect from your team? No, I expect them to respect me and I expect them to tell me everything. And okay. I was like, how do you expect that if you don't give the same? So, what are you willing to lose in order to get what you want? To be seen weak? To show your vulnerability? So, I'm saying it's not easy, but at the end, um, it's just a matter of showing them different perspectives. We all have our vision, our filter of things are like this, and there's no other option. But what if? What if? You know? And the base of everything is trust, making the person feel that they can trust you. How? Listening, really showing interest, really making the other person feel important, that you care. And Roger, do you think that is something difficult to do? To show the other person that is important?
I know for me personally, I had to be intentional at first to get in that habit. And I know a lot of times there are individuals out there who are so caught up in the numbers, the metrics, that they don't take the time to look in the mirror and say, what do I need to do to make my team, help my team perform better? And so many times I meet individuals that they're so caught up in the game of the business that they forget that there's employees. I was told a long, long, long time ago that business is not the exchange of currency, it's people. It will always be people. Uh, and and somehow I believe that we've lost that vision, because all we think of, well, not we, a lot of people, all they think about is the numbers, how big the bank account is, do I have enough money to pay the bills, whatever like that. And they forget that at the end of the day, you're just one person on that team. You got to take care of the team. And if the team's not taken care of, they're going to be taken care of by someone else. And that's what we're seeing right now. And so it, to some people like you, it's very natural. It comes very natural. Other people, it takes discipline. It takes where you're intentionally trying to do that and practicing it every day. Just like you go practice a forehand or backhand ground stroke in tennis, it takes practice every day to get that habit, to really understand it. And instead of seeing the ball go for a winner against your opponent, sometimes just feeling that energy coming from that other person you're talking to is just as fulfilling as hitting that ground stroke for a winner.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you. This is a skill that every human can learn. Maybe some are born with a skill, but that doesn't mean that we cannot develop it, that we cannot learn it. Science says it. Daniel Goleman, with all this emotional intelligence and stuff, he says there is something recently discovered called I forgot the name, but are the connection of the new connections of neurons. Every new connection is new learning, and we have that ability until we are 99. There's no limit. Like, oh no, you are 18, too bad, no new things for you. No, we all can learn new things, and that is something. Yes, first we have to realize that humans, that people are the most valuable asset of every company. Of every company, not only services, no, every single company. And as you said, many people think like, no. The most important thing, and I tell you because I've received answers like that when I give a proposal to work with teams, or to, okay, let's have some coaching, or how are your employees doing, or no, that's a waste of money and time. I don't have to. Oh, but we need the training on productivity, and we need we're not machines, and like the movie Monsters Inc. from Pixar, what had they been doing to get energy? Scaring children. Whoa, yeah. But then at the end of the movie, they realized that they got, I don't know, twice as energy making them laugh. A happy employee, a cared employee gives you so much more. That if you want to talk numbers, okay, yeah, you're going to have numbers. But they are so and it's normal to feel these, how do you say, to be accepted on, because this is so, we're not used to it. We have been doing things one way and then change. Like, no, let's keep it that way. No, let's pull them more. No. The companies that have tried, now they are enjoying the benefits. I don't know if you know this company, Sapos?
Apple, yes.
Sapos. It was like
Zappos, yes.
Yes. Well, I love this company because there's a book, and they have a consultant company called Delivering Happiness. This company the CEO who unfortunately passed away, I think last year. But he had this vision where he was more concerned and focused in the people in his team than in the money, really. And what happened 10 years ago, 12 years ago, he sold the company to Amazon to, I think, $1 billion or $100 million. I don't remember. A lot of money. How? What did he do? He chose his people, but he chose it from, okay, did you really want to be here? He actually gave the people a 3 months like period of time, like proof time, where if they didn't like the culture, if they didn't like the work or whatever, he said, please let us know, go, we give you $1,000 check for you to leave. In the book, he tells like only 3 people, I think, left. Today's a big company, but they have the most amazing culture where they first prioritize people. They continue growing and growing and growing. That is one example of what really caring about not only the people that work for the company, but also the customers. That's the result that you can have.
Tony Hsieh was a very amazing man. And I can't believe how you turned my podcast going from Monsters Inc. the movie to Zappos with Tony Hsieh. That was a nice move. So anyway, on that note, I can't thank you enough for your words of wisdom, your intuition on really how people should be connected and why. I appreciate everything, and thank you again for being my guest speaker. So before you leave, though, I'd love to have you give just one more piece of inspiration to the audience.
Oh, thank you.
Why that connection is important.
Thank you very much. Well, there's so much to say, but at the end, why is that building connections and true connections? Why is it important? What are we all looking for? Feeling good, feeling safe. What am I doing to get that? And from that reflection, am I really giving what I expect to receive? Making that little reflection can give you a path on, okay, if I want to receive this, if I have to give it, how can I start? And it can be, Roger, with one smile. Arrive to your office, to your workplace, wherever, and bring a smile, even if you don't feel like to. There's also research that when you draw a smile on your face, you're giving unconsciously a sign to your brain where why am I smiling? Oh, are we happy? The brain is thinking. And then, oh, well, yeah, we're happy. And then suddenly you feel better. So start with little things and see what results you get. And if it works, okay, go for the next little step on what else you can do. And I'm not going to tell you what you're going to get. Don't believe me. Try for your own. See everything that you can get and how building those or strengthen those connections that you already have. Everything that is going to give you. They won't regret.
Very nice. Very nice closing. How can the audience get a hold of you if they want to reach out and learn more from you?
Well, I have my LinkedIn profile. They can find me there, which is, well, my name, Susana Aguilar-Garayoa. Through there, or the same. I mean, all my social networks are my names.
Okay.
Yeah, my email is my name. So.
Well, I hope people do take the time to reach out to you, because I think it'd be worthwhile for them to just learn from you, like I have over the last couple months. So Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I really enjoyed this. And well, I hope to see you soon again.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'll
Thank
do
you.
many more together.
Yay! Thank you.
My podcast wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for my sponsors and my great supporters. So let me take this opportunity to thank each and every one of them. First of all, I want to thank Rebecca at Custom Bookkeeping and Accounting, delivering trustworthy bookkeeping services since 2003. Dave and Dara at Virtues Matter, making this world a much happier place to be with their Virtues card apps, coaching, and workshops. Stephen at Buller Accounting, giving business owners depth and insight to their numbers. Eric and his team at Ivy Cat Web Design, the real superheroes of web development and design. Jennifer and Jean at the Seavers Real Estate Team, serving Pierce and Kitsap counties with their home buying and selling needs. Maury at the Maury Method, the world's only brainwave entrainment engineer, helping everyone have more clarity, less stress, and overall better brain health. Priya at Pivot My Profit, helping individuals and businesses have better control of their finances and more money at the end of their day. Melissa at the Soul Vibe Energy High, the queen of the aha moments, helping individuals find those holes in their cups, repair the hole, and gain back their positive energy. And finally, Rick at West Sound Recording. You talk, they do all the rest. Thank you, Rick, for all your efforts with the production and editing of my podcast.